Welcome back to CNBC on assignment. From hosting mega sporting spectacles to hosting global business leaders at events like this one, the Future Investment Initiative, Saudi Arabia is making bold moves to bring in visitors. Under Saudi Vision 2030, tourism has been positioned as a pillar of progress. In less than 5 years, the kingdom hopes to welcome 150 million annual visitors. And with those visitors comes revenue. The tourism sector contributes 5% to the Saudi economy, and there's hope that number will soon double. Ahmed Al-Khatib is the Minister of Tourism for Saudi Arabia. I spoke with him on the sidelines of the Fortune Global Forum in Riyadh.
We believe that we will reach to 140 million by end of this year. We'll exceed the 30 million international arrivals that we achieved last year. And the numbers is going to 150 million tourists by 2030, out of which 50 million coming from outside. And this will put Saudi Arabia on top of the 10 most visited countries in the world.
These are really big numbers, so help me break it down just a little bit. Where exactly are visitors coming from, and how much of this is genuine foreign travelers visiting Saudi Arabia for the first time versus those religious travelers that consistently come in?
Our visitors are coming mainly from the UK, China, India, and Europe, and this is very normal in many other countries. The mid-haul, 6 to 7 hours flight is the main cities that we focus on and we try to attract from. And therefore, the visitors are coming from these regions and these countries to visit Saudi Arabia and to explore our nature, our history, our heritage, which represent the Arabian culture.
And of course, tourism is also a significant contributor to Saudi Arabia's GDP now. What do those numbers look like?
The tourism is one of the 2030 vision pillars, and we started, and it's not only a main contributor to the GDP, but also the jobs and the economy. And therefore, we started with 3% back in 2019 GDP contribution, and we reached to about 5% last year. Our target is to reach to the global average, which is 10% of the GDP by 2030, which will put Saudi Arabia within the global average.
And of course, as you say, all of this also feeding into the broader Vision 2030 diversification agenda.
Absolutely.
We're less than 5 years out now. Would you say that Vision 2030 is on track, or is there more work to be done here?
Vision 2030 addresses the many pillars: economic, social, and many other objectives. And I can tell you, most of the Vision 2030 program have on the road to achieve their targets, and many of them, like the social, have already passed their 2030 targets, including tourism. Our target or promise is to reach to 100 million visitors by 2030. We revised up our target to 150 million by 2030, and therefore, we are up to delivering the Vision 2030 as planned or as announced.
There's a lot of investment going into Vision 2030, and there has been some concern that perhaps Saudi Arabia is overspending. When you look at this through the lens of tourism, obviously that spending is required to bring people in, but can Saudi Arabia complete Vision 2030 without breaking the bank?
The investment is to build on our very robust infrastructure. For us to reach to 150 million visitors, and out of which 50 million from outside, we have to expand the airport capacity, the airline capacity. We have to connect cities with direct flights, and we have to add the 200 to 250,000 new key rooms. Actually, today, we delivered more than 50,000 key rooms in the last 5 years, and we added more than 250,000 jobs. And therefore, we are improving the capacity, expanding the capacity, whether hotel rooms, airports, airlines, to cater for the massive 150 million tourist number by 2030.
So Saudi Arabia still believes in the model, build it and they will come. Is that fair to say?
Oh, definitely. And we have everything to make sure that when we build it, people will come to experience our hospitality, our beautiful culture, and our UNESCO listed sites, history and heritage. You asked me about religious tourism. Back in 2019, they used to represent about 60% of the people visiting Saudi Arabia. Today, they are less than 50%. Their number, absolute number, is growing, but their percentage of the total number visiting Saudi Arabia is much less than 2019.
And soon, many of those visitors will be flying into a new airport. The King Salman International Airport is expected to open in the kingdom's business capital in less than 5 years.
We're basically, more than thinking like an airport, we want to transform aviation. We want to bring a different experience for the passengers. We want to be sure that when they come to Riyadh, as soon as they arrive, they identify with the Saudi culture, the Saudi traditions, and the identity that you see in the architectural features here.
Marco, how much is all of this going to cost?
It's going to cost, as you can imagine, it's a large investment that the kingdom is putting into the project. But most importantly is the attraction that we're having with all the different organizations. When we're talking about an airport, it's just not about passengers. It's about logistics, it's about cargo, it's about connectivity. So what we're trying to do is a hub, a major hub for the region that is going to come and is going to be ready to be at the level that the kingdom deserves.
So just to drill in on this, I imagine the figure has a B in front of it. Can you put a number on it?
I will prefer, like it's a long-term plan. Yeah, of course, it's always a be in front of this type of investments. But the most important is just know that it's a B in this. We have a really good business plan, a solid business plan, and this is going to take us way into the future.
What's interesting about this new project as well is that it all feeds into Vision 2032. So when you look at the end goal here, the aim to make Saudi Arabia a global aviation hub, how is the airport ultimately going to be able to achieve that?
Oh, the airport is a top priority for the kingdom, for the vision. Everybody enters through the airport, everybody lives with the memories that we are going to have behind the airport. So for us, when we're looking into what is going to be the short term, yes, we are totally aligned with the Vision 2030, but as I mentioned before, this detailed master plan is a long term into the future. So when you are making this type of investment, you don't think in 5 years down the road. You have to think about 50 years. What is going to happen in the kingdom in 50 years with the airport and where we want to be in the global scale. So we have an airport that is going to take us probably in the order of 225 million passengers as we grow and as the needs of the Riyadh and the kingdom requires.
With less than 5 years to go, Vision 2030 remains a work in progress. Ambitious, evolving, and still facing critical tests. While the kingdom has made real progress in areas like tourism and economic diversification, the road ahead is complex, and the final chapter of this bold national project is yet to be written. I'm Dan Murphy on assignment for CNBC. Thanks for watching.